Good evening, friends. Welcome to another session of Sahodar Virtual Life. As we had decided, today is going to be session about a very specific topic, that is shared household and right of residence. Last week we had a session about domestic violence, and there were a lot of queries revolving around these two topics which were taken, and a lot of people had asked that there should be a specific session about these two sections. So, as was informed to you on Tuesday, today we'll have a session about shared household and right of residence. So, I'll start with the queries which you have asked. So, first question is from Praveen Shivare. I'm sorry, this question is not related to right of residence. Saru Patil, again, the question is not related to right of residence or shared household. सो फ्रेंड्स, आप सबके जो भी सवाल हैं उनका जवाब भी मैं देना चाहूँगा, पर आज क्योंकि हमारा टॉपिक स्पेसिफिक है राइट ऑफ रेजिडेंस या शेयर्ड हाउस होल्ड, तो आज मैं सिर्फ वही सवाल सिलेक्ट कर रहा हूँ जो शेयर्ड हाउस होल्ड या राइट ऑफ रेजिडेंस से संबंध रखते हैं। वैसे इन दोनों टॉपिक्स पे मेरी चैनल, मेरे खुद के यूट्यूब चैनल जो कि शोनी कपूर के नाम से है, शोनी कपूर पे दोनों के बारे में एक फैक्ट्स फ्रीक्वेंटली आस्क्ड क्वेश्चंस का हिंदी और इंग्लिश में एक वीडियो मैंने बना के पहले भी डाला हुआ है। अगर आप चाहें तो आप जाकर वो वीडियो भी देख सकते हैं। अगला सवाल अमित पाटिल का है। अमित पाटिल का सवाल है, एट द टाइम ऑफ फाइलिंग ऑफ डीवी इन May 20, wife put application to grant maintenance and rental accommodation because she did not have any source of income and residing at her parents' house. She was employed but put a false application during entry maintenance stage. At the time of filing affidavit, she mentioned that she is drawing handsome salary and her employer moved her to a new location and she is residing at a rental accommodation near her office. When we focused on the initial application, judge ignored the false application and said that will be decided at a later stage. First, need to decide the interim. We pointed out that her income is more than me and I have more liabilities. Just said, okay, she is earning more, so no maintenance. But what about her residence? And you need to pay her rent. OP had submitted a rental agreement, 16,000 rent per month. We opposed that. Just asked to submit judgment where residence is denied because wife is earning more than husband. We submitted the judgment also for the same, but after that, judges purposely and knowingly extending the date. From Feb 21, court is just giving the close dates, but nothing is happening in the court related to my case. For me, they are just extending the case so that later there will be order for residence. Joint flat which is under construction, all money for that flat are from my account. What can be done in such case? So I believe Amit's question is that the wife or the complainant in this particular case is employed. She is earning handsome and her salary is more than Amit's. She has now taken a place on rent which is closer to her office and she is paying a rent of 16,000 rupees. Judge asked him to submit a judgment, sporting judgment from a high court or a session court or a Supreme Court, which said that if wife is earning handsomely, no right of residence or no rental has to be paid by the respondent. Amit, it seems, has submitted such judgments to the court. Relevant judgments or relevant citations has been quoted to the court, and court is not deciding this particular application. So Amit, you have a very strong case in your favor. Number one, your wife is earning more than you, so you should not be too worried on that aspect of maintenance because maintenance will definitely not be granted to her. About right of residence also, a person who is earning and working in a good company draws HRA. HRA is nothing but house rent allowance. When you talk about right of residence or shared household, right of residence specifically, right of residence is provided to a aggrieved woman or her children who does not have a place to stay of their own. If they are getting rental from office or getting house rent allowance from the office or government or wherever, or they own a house or they own a property, they own a share in the property, then this entitles them from getting any relief for right of residence. So please understand, we have to see uh, she is no longer residing in shared household. So it is not a reason where you are trying to drive her away from her shared household. She is asking rental income from you, and she is not residing in shared household. So please, you have a very strong case in your favor. You should not be worried. Even if delayed, the court will certainly decide the matter in your favor. If God forbid the court decides against you, you should go for revision in session court, or if need be in writ in high court, because this aspect of law needs to be decided in your favor only. She is earning handsomely, she must be drawing house rent allowance, so you are not bound to pay any more rental income to her. uh, Rishit Agarwal has a question. I think the question is about maintenance. So, Rishit, I'm sorry, I'm not taking questions related to any other aspects except right of residence now. Sandeep Sarpal also has a question about cross examination. चेतन कुमार, सर क्वेश्चन वन, क्या बहू अपने सास ससुर की प्रॉपर्टी एसेट्स में हिस्सा मांग सकती है भले ही वो कभी शेयर्ड हाउस होल्ड में ना रही हो अदर देन डीवी? तो चेतन जी, लॉ जो है वो बड़ा क्लियर है. पहली बात तो कोई भी बहू अपने सास ससुर की प्रॉपर्टी में कोई हिस्सा नहीं मांग सकती है. मैक्सिमम वो जो मांग सकती है वो शेयर्ड हाउस होल्ड जिस घर में वो रही हो वहां पर राइट ऑफ रेजिडेंस मांग सकती है. राइट ऑफ रेजिडेंस सिर्फ रहने का अधिकार होता है. ये कोई भी और लड़की की फेवर में कोई भी और राइट नहीं बनाता है उस प्रॉपर्टी के अंदर, सिवाय इसके कि जब तक उसके रहने की कोई और व्यवस्था ना हो जाए उसे उस घर में रहने का अधिकार होता है. तो इसलिए इस बारे में आप चिंता ना करें. दीपक नहीं है. अतुल जी के सवाल इंटरिम मेंटेनेंस को लेकर हैं, हालांकि हैं डीवी से रिलेटेड. राजेश जी अगेन डोमेस्टिक वायलेंस से संबंधित जरूर हैं पर राइट ऑफ रेजिडेंस से संबंधित नहीं है. Tech MNC has question again related to a lot of things but not related to Vivek Kumar Sinha purchase power parity, again not related to right of residence. तो विजय सिंह जी का सवाल है. वाइफ इज आस्किंग रेजिडेंस राइट इन पेरेंटल हाउस एंड नॉट रेडी टू टेक अल्टरनेट रेंटल रेजिडेंस, व्हाट टू डू नाउ? सो विजय जी, प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड दैट whatever wife may ask anything, the relief is ultimately granted by the court. Even if you read Ahuja versus Ahuja judgment, which is the latest judgment which has come from Supreme Court, which has changed the way how right of residence has to be decided, that says that unlike previously, as was the case in Batra and Batra, the daughter-in-law can not be evicted from senior citizen residence without providing alternate residence. In that judgment also, the Supreme Court has clearly stated that right of daughter-in-law and right of old parents-in-law both are important. So, though the daughter-in-law cannot be removed from the place where she is currently residing without procedure established by law, however, court should decide on the application of father-in-law or parents-in-law if it is preferred in the court to provide alternate accommodation to the girl, to the complainant, or to the daughter-in-law. When we speak about right of residence, it's about the right to reside in an honorable way, that the lady or the complainant should have a place to reside. The right of residence is never right of residence in a particular property. So please understand, she may demand anything. Like in maintenance, also she demands I should be given thousands of rupees, lakhs of rupees as maintenance. The husband is earning 30,000 rupees, but I should be granted 1 lakh rupees as maintenance because the father-in-law should give me maintenance. He should give me maintenance. The question which the law is going to decide, or which the court is going to decide, what kind of residence is fit for her. If the court deems, if your offer for providing rental accommodation is there, the court will naturally tilt in favor of providing a alternate accommodation and a rental accommodation, because that will save future cases also. If the woman is residing in the same household, DV court is not going to evict her, then you will have to file a suit of eviction in district court. I hope the answer is very clear. However, if the woman is not residing in this particular property of her parents, the court will try to give rental residence only as per your prayer in the court. So I am taking Anubhav Agarwal has a question. Can daughter demand any right of residence or alimony being major after 16 years despite 13 be settled with her mother? So no, daughter cannot demand any right of residence or alimony after being major. However, she can demand maintenance only, and after a period of 16 years, definitely not. She cannot demand that. So be clear about it. Maximum she can get is maintenance, and if the maintenance of her was also settled 16 years back, then be cozy. Nothing untoward is going to happen to you. Douglas Dolgar Rammohan has a question about MLC. I'm not going to answer it right now. Lokesh has a question. House is on my parents' name, comorbid combinedly. If God forbid anything happens to them, then that will be transferred to my name, but by their will. I have divorce case running, so what shall I do? I done to secure my house, as I am afraid wife will claim right of residence in that circumstances. So Lokesh ji has a question, and the question is that they have a property. The property is jointly owned by his parents. That is, both both the parents. The property will devolve upon Lokesh, and Lokesh fears that if such a thing happens, what can be done so that wife is not able to claim right of residence in the this particular property. So, Lokesh, about will, I have a suggestion for you that your parents should create a will in such a manner that the part of either parent should go to the other parent. That is, your father should will that after him, the property should devolve upon your mother, and the mother should so will that the property should devolve on your father. And God forbid, and I pray that this event does not occur, both your parents are no more and the property devolves on you. Definitely, wife can claim right of residence in this particular property, or per se right of residence only. As I have said in the previous answer also, right of residence does not mean right to reside in any particular residence. you can still offer alternate accommodation to her. You can still offer rental to her, and you can pray that rental be given to her so that you also reside peacefully and she also resides peacefully. Again, you have to see that the wife should not have any income, should not be drawing any HRA. So these are the some aspects on which you should also think. For such people whose parents own the property and the property may devolve on you, as long as any litigation is going on, my suggestion has always been make your brother or sister as beneficiary to the will of your parents. It is better the property remains in the family with your brother or sister than goes to the complainant who has already filed false and malicious cases against you. So this is my advice. However, where there are circumstances where you are the only child, then you have to bear the risk. Secondly, will is merely a planning. So you should not lose your sleep over events which has not happened, though there is a chance that it may happen, but pray that your parents have a long life, may your cases get settled. Don't lose sight on that aspect that cases do get settled. Parents, we have now entering an era where people have longer lives, though accidents and young deaths do occur, and in COVID times, a lot of young deaths have also occurred. But remain hopeful, your parents will have a long life. So don't start losing sleep over it. Abhishek has a question. Wife is residing in government accommodation allotted to me. She is taking maintenance of rupees 8,000 per month ex parte order. Baby order, she should be provided one room and kitchen along with 5,000 maintenance. How to evict her from the government accommodation? She is staying alone. 498 case is also going on. So Abhishek, again, you have to make an application to the court that you are ready to give this accommodation back to the government and will like to draw HRA, and she should be asked, vacate these premises. The trial court, if does not listen to you, you can go to session court or high court with the same prayer. I am sure that because the property is not in your name, it is in the name of a government agency. The government agency can also be made party to the list, that is party to the case which is pending. This is the only way. You have to, surrender this accommodation to the agency from which you have got this accommodation. As long as you are in position and she is not accepting any alternate accommodation, you will have to continue. She'll only continue to use it unless and until you make an offer of alternate accommodation. You cannot get her evicted from this property, because this is once again not the property of mother-in-law or father-in-law. It is property allotted to you, so you have a right in this property. Shivam again has a question. Shravani again has a question. Abhishek. Abhishek, your question about HRA I have already answered. Monica Garkhal has a question, and the question is, can wife make any claim to the property even if it not in husband's name or of his father's name? However, that is the permanent residence of the husband and family lived there for 40 years. Now the husband is planning to sell that property. Can she make a claim else? What is the way out? Actually, the said property was in the Nanaji's name. Monica, can wife lay such claim if your Nanaji is not there, and if the Nanaji of husband is not there, the wife can definitely lay claim on that property as long as husband is residing in this particular property. So the right of residence accrues from where the husband is residing or what has been her shared household till past. She can also bring an injunction that no third party interest should be created in this particular property. So if you are planning to sell this property before any injunction or right of residence order is passed in the favor of the complainant. Once again, you can still offer alternate accommodation to her, because this property is not the property of the husband and has devolved upon maybe your mother or some other relative, and part of it maybe to the husband. So it has to be seen what will happen to this particular property, because the property will devolve on in as per the laws of succession. So unless those things are known, no further advice can be given about it. Vijay Singh has a question. Wife is living separately from last 3 years. DVC and 498A case pending in court. Wife trying to enter in parental house forcefully with wrong intention on the name of right of residence. What is remedy? So Vijay, as far as I understand, that if a wife is trying to enter forcibly without a court order, you can restrain her forcibly. Anything which she is trying to do forcibly, you can stop her doing that act. No police officer, no court will allow her entry without following the proper procedure of law. Unless she puts an application asking for right of residence, it cannot be granted to her. So if, and moreover, please understand, if she is not residing there for last 3 years, it is highly unlikely that any court will grant her ex parte order to stay in this particular property. So remain hopeful, restrain her. Even if it requires minimal force to restrain her, do restrain her from entering this property if she is trying to act something. The second thing, in whose name the property is, because as you said that it is a parental house. So if you are not residing in this particular property, your parents can try to bring injunction against this particular act. Your parents, if they are senior citizens, they should write to the local police station that they expect such a such act to be done by the woman, be restrained from making such act. I'm sorry. Nitin has no question. I think it is only a thank you. Pranay has a question. Lakvesh and Sharma has a question, again not related to right of residence. So Sanjay Baranwal has a question, and the question is: I was forced to leave my own house by wife and her parents through constant torture, and I am living in rented house for 3 years. I am also paying rupees 66,000 monthly as per Section 125 interim and Section 24 order. So I'm not sure what is the question, Sanjay. What is your query? I have not been able to understand. Please clarify your query. Amit has a further comment, and the comment is: her HRA is 8,000 and she has shown her rent agreement of 16,000. In such case, also no need to worry, right? I am of the opinion that there is definitely no need to worry, because if she is earning, she is getting HRA of 8,000 rupees, and her income is much more than you. If I remember, her income is much more than you. Then definitely you need not worry. You should only harp on, or you should always pray that she has means to sufficiently have a rental accommodation for herself. Ashraf has a question about MOU. Again, MOU related questions I'm not answering. So I believe we have come to an end about the questions related to shared household or right of residence. So I have a request, my dear friends. आप सबसे एक रिक्वेस्ट है कि जब हम डिसाइड करते हैं कि हम एक पर्टिकुलर टॉपिक पे सवाल जवाब लेंगे, ठीक है, तो उसमें हमें प्रयास करना चाहिए कि, और ये बता दिया जाता है पहले कि आज किस टॉपिक पे बात होने वाली है, और थर्सडे जनरली हम कोशिश करते हैं कि किसी एक पर्टिकुलर टॉपिक पे बात करें, क्योंकि बहुत से लोग हैं जो चाहते हैं कि टॉपिक स्पेसिफिक बातें भी हों। तो ऐसे में कोशिश ये करनी चाहिए कि हम उससे रिलेटेड ही क्वेश्चंस पूछें, उससे बहुत से लोगों का समय बचेगा और हम ज़्यादा सवाल ले पाएंगे। मेरे ख्याल से आज मैसेज शायद ज़्यादा परकोलेट नहीं हुआ कि हम किस बारे में बात करने वाले हैं, तो इसलिए सवाल कम आए। जनरली मैंने देखा है मेंटेनेंस, डाइवोर्स, इस पर बहुत सारे सवाल पहले भी आते रहे हैं, और 2-2 घंटे के सेशंस या 1-1 घंटे के सेशंस भी पर्याप्त नहीं होते थे। इनफैक्ट हमें मेंटेनेंस के लिए 3 सेशंस करने पड़े थे। तो आज के सेशन को अभी हम ख़त्म करते हैं यहीं पे। सैटरडे को फिर मिलेंगे। जो लोग ये वीडियोस अब देख रहे हैं और अभी तक हमारे ग्रुप से नहीं जुड़े हैं, वो हमारे ग्रुप से व्हाट्सएप या टेलीग्राम पे मैसेज कर जुड़ सकते हैं, सब्सक्रिप्शन का मैसेज करके जुड़ सकते हैं। उसके लिए आपको टेलीग्राम या व्हाट्सएप के नंबर 9811850498 पर मैसेज करना है। आज का सेशन हम यहीं समाप्त करते हैं। शनिवार को शाम को 6 बजे फिर मिलेंगे। थैंक यू वेरी मच।